Hey, check this out. Have you ever prayed for God to remove something and He didn't? The storm stayed, pressure stayed, the uncertainty stayed. And if we're honest, that can mess with your faith. Because sometimes we think, if God loved me, wouldn't He take this away? But what if God's goal isn't always to remove the storm? What if sometimes it is to grow you in it? So yeah, we all want quick rescues, right? Quick breakthroughs, quick answers, and quick relief. But when you look through Scripture, God doesn't always remove people from the storms immediately. Sometimes He walks with them through it. I'm reminded in Mark chapter 4, it tells the story of Jesus and the disciples crossing the sea. A storm rises, the disciples panic, and Jesus is asleep in the boat. That alone is powerful. The storm was happening and Jesus was still at peace. And the presence of a storm doesn't mean the absence of God. A lot of people assume if I'm going through something difficult, God must not be with me. But the disciples were literally in the will of God, and still a storm came. And just because life is hard doesn't mean God left. God's silence is not God's absence. You see, sometimes the storm reveals something deeper. You see, storms reveal what we trust. Pressure exposes things. In storms, fear surfaces, anxiety surfaces, doubt surfaces. Why? Because storms reveal where your trust really is. It's easy to trust God when life feels stable. Real faith shows up when things aren't. But here's what's amazing about storms. God does some of His deepest work in storms. Nobody wants storms. I know you don't want storms. I don't want storms. Nobody wants storms, but storms grow things. It grows dependence. It grows faith. It grows endurance. It changes and grows our perspective. And some lessons can only be learned in pressure. The storm you want removed may be the place God is developing you most. There's been seasons in my life where I prayed God to change the situation immediately, and He didn't. At first I thought, God, where are you? But looking back now, I can honestly say God was doing something deeper in me than what I was asking Him to change around me. You see, the storm strengthened things within me. It strengthened trust, a dependence, and my perspective, and that comfort that I was asking for, and to remove me from those situations. You could never have taught me that. And this next part changes everything. That peace isn't found in the absence of storms. You see, Jesus stood up and calmed the storm. But before He calmed the storm around Him, He was calm within it. That means peace is not about what happens around you. It's about who's with you in it. I want you to think about a child during a thunderstorm. The storm outside may still be loud, but if they know their parent is with them, everything changes. So let me ask you this question: what storm What storm are you facing right now? And maybe the better question is, what is God trying to develop in you through it? Because this storm may not be the end. It may be the process. God may calm the storm, or he may calm you in the storm. Either way, you're not alone. The storm didn't come to destroy you. It came to reveal that God is still with you. If this has encouraged you, I would love for you to like it and follow. Maybe share this with somebody who just needs to hear an encouraging word and maybe is in a storm right now. And I'd love to hear from you. What's one thing God has taught you through a difficult season? Why don't you drop it in the comment and let's have a conversation together. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey of unhindered faith as we serve a God who's not hindered by our situations. And that's why we can strive to live in this world and through our situations with unhindered faith.